Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. This is All Actions, All Results, Business Accountability Group, and we're here to try to motivate each other to keep on track with our business goals. First thing we do is we go through our elevator statements, a little bit of a definition of who we are and what we do. So, Jackie, would you like to go first?
Okay, wonderful. I'm Jackie Chiatti. My company is based in Atlanta, Georgia, in the US, probiztechnology.com. And what I do is I help employers save time and save money by showing their employees how to use the software tools they already have, such as Excel, Access, Project, Word, so forth and so on.
Fantastic. Rudy, do you want to give us a quick overview?
I am Rudy Martinez. I own Rudy's Health and Fitness in Long Beach, California. I help people lose weight, get stronger, and eliminate joint pain and manage health issues.
Okay, and my name is Graham, and I'm the director of Native Speakers Academy. We're a language school based in central Slovakia. Essentially, we do two things: we teach the English language, and we work with life coaching skills with a little bit of motivation thrown in for good measure. There we go. That's the pitch. Moving on. Aha moments. Number two on the agenda today. If anybody has had any realizations this week, any thoughts that have helped them take their business forward, and I can see somebody waving away there. No, but you have to rest your voice, so you can. Right. Rudy's going to chime in first with an aha moment for his week this week. On you go, May.
Well, I'm sure Graham could help uh, detail this, or was recorded last week. I guess it was the after party moment. Um, I guess, by nature an idealist, and I was tutored that well, it's okay to be an idealist, but we're living in a realistic world. So not to worry so much about what other people are doing or not doing, uh, mainly, and just continue to do what I need to do. And if what I'm doing progresses a concept, so be it. If it's not progressing a concept, don't worry about if it's not being taken up by other people. So it's something that I've I guess grown up with. There's been instances even back to high school where I have this idealistic moment of this is how things should be. This is the right way to do it, and being very upset about it. And but I have to understand that's not how people think, and it's not how the world works sometimes. And I don't think it's a negative thing. It's just, yeah, we all have to figure out how to work together to come up with certain solutions. So I have to keep that in mind sometimes. And like I said, Graham helped me process that in my brain last week. So that was a big aha moment for me.
Super. Happy to help anyone go through what I've gone through myself. So, super. Jackie, is there something that has happened in your week which you think might be worth sharing with us?
No aha moments. I have a resource, the next section, but no aha moments last week.
Okay, so there's nothing that anyone has said to you that's sat in the back of your mind this week, or something that maybe you read on a Facebook post or through the BU group.
This one is not okay. So this is not something recent, but this is something that helps me all the time. And it's
Okay.
a question that says, you can't read it, but it says, what are you grateful for with this situation? So when something happens that doesn't go the way I expect, I have it taped to my laptop, and so I ask myself, okay, so this sucks, but what are you grateful for with this situation? And so that is, I guess, that's an oldie but goldie aha moment.
Yeah, it's really nice to have the positive side of a negative situation to focus on. So kind of like this sucks, but let's just get on to the next thing and push forward anyway, and it'll soon enough be forgotten, hopefully, and in the past. So yeah, what are we grateful for? I think I should probably employ that more in the work that I do. Definitely, I think we can all learn something positive from each other. So, aha moments. I wanted to make a little note about my little aha moment, and it turned into a half a page of scribbles on a piece of paper, and I'm not sure if we've got time to go into it more deeply. I'll try and distill it into 30 seconds if someone can check me on this. My aha moment was that was related to my original statement about the work that the school does, which is about this fact that language skills that people learn are quite useless alone if you don't have the skill to communicate your ideas to people in the world. Like, language is like internal growth and communication is an external skill. And I was thinking that all growth is an internal process, and yet we need lots and lots and lots of stimulation from the outside in order to be successful in life. And I think what we're doing in terms of motivating each other is all some kind of external stimulus which helps us internally. And I realized 5 things that I've seen recently which back this up. 5 observations I've made. So can I go on? Can I go on? Is that okay? Okay. So I'm going to try to go through the 5 observations very quickly. Observation number 1: we often do for others more than we would do for ourselves for some reason. There's something about external stimulus which is often equally or more powerful than internal stimulus. I've noticed people doing for others things that they wouldn't do for themselves, helping people. Natural, positive human process. I've noticed, second realization was that within a lot of religious concepts, people very often say that they're doing things for Jesus or for God, which is an external stimulus, I think, to help the internal growth. So that's the second realization, and I've heard E.T. speak about this a few times. Third realization was when you have kids, it kind of forces you to go to another level. That's another kind of external stimulus. I know that I've heard people say that there's my why, right? Fourth realization was that we're standing on the shoulders of giants. That's all external stimulus. Even though I've got internal growth, I'm still using all this technology and all this information created by other people. And the fifth realization was that your why is deeper and bigger than you yourself, which is external stimulus in the world. So even though we need all this internal growth, there's a real need for contact with people, and a need to create opportunities to receive stimulus from other people in order for us to grow in our personal lives and our business lives. And that was my aha moment. There we go. Shall we move on?
Fantastic.
Right.
There's many points of discussion there, but yeah, let's move on.
Yep. Yeah, we can maybe come back to that at some point. Moving on, our next section is a new resource, a tool or a method that helps you in your business, your work. It maybe gives you a little bit of an advantage. Maybe it brings in more knowledge or information. Maybe it saves time, something that you find useful. Any volunteers to go first?
Let me get that out of the way so that I can relax. Well, just like we're going to talk about later on, the things we were supposed to do this week, I take a big step. I think the biggest step in this entire Facebook group, BU process for me was I went ahead and started doing uh, advertising on Facebook for my gym. And actually, the resource I wanted to put it up on the screen, but I actually had to reboot, so I'd have to find it again. But once I started doing the advertising this week, Facebook has inundated me with resources, and obviously I could see why. It's like I'm giving them money now, so they want to, help me as much as possible. So on top of the analytics I got from using AdEspresso, which is what I use to actually post the advertising, Facebook itself has given me, I don't know how, at least two or three um, notices or posts per day in the last week or so about different things that would help. I actually had a couple of my advertisements flagged because I had too much text on them, and they explained why. They were very helpful about that. They wanted me to change them, so I can just swap them out. Like with Espresso, it's really easy to swap out images. So uh, once if you were to start doing, will really help you along. So I'm still kind of reviewing the things that they wanted me to do. So right now it's a little slow, which is fine. And that's actually one of the posts they gave me. It's like you're not getting a lot of click throughs because, and they're saying your population you're looking for may be too targeted, and maybe during the week, like they go over all the statistics that I can look at and basically vary if I want to, as far as trying to get people to go through the full click through to get to the website and the whole deal. But it's not like I remember doing Google ads a few years ago. I tried that once and I put like $20 in, like by like 4 hours later, the $20 was gone. No responses, nothing, it was just gone. With Facebook, they're a little friendlier. I guess maybe it depends on how much you post, because I am posting here and posting in other places. They're very more active in, I guess, trying to nurture a new client along. So I have to, I guess, recommend them. They're saying it's like your posts are getting seen. There's not a lot of click through. Here's the things you can do to manage those click throughs and try and get more engagement. So I have to recommend Facebook for that. That they're actually helping tutoring me through the process. So I'm not wasting a lot of money. I set my budget for $5 a day, and I've spent less than $10 the entire time since I went live last weekend. So I'm not just wasting click through money. I'm having a chance to tweak the ad. So I give Facebook thanks for that.
So basically what you're saying is that with the new resources, you're getting a lot of feedback from Facebook, which is positive for you, and it's worked out a little bit cheaper than you planned it to be as well at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I think a lot of the notices are automated, but they, they know their stuff. It's like they're not just trying to take your $5. They're looking, I guess, for a longer term customer.
Okay, fantastic. Can we move on to the next person? Yep. Okay, Jackie, is there something you can share with us in terms of resources?
Yes. So speaking of long-term customers, there's this book I'm reading called
Okay.
The Automatic Customer. It's written by this guy. He also wrote a book called Built to Sell. And what this is how you can convert your product or service business so that instead of having one-time customers or dealing with this feast or famine situation, how you can make them long-term customers and put on some sort of membership system. So he talks about 9 different models. And one of the things he says that I like is that it doesn't have to be an all or nothing deal. You don't have to take this book and try to convert your entire business. Maybe you convert 10%. Maybe you convert just enough to cover your living expenses, and then let the other stuff be one-time things. But he gives 9 different models, and you can mix and match and things like that. So I've read up to that point. Where I'm getting to now is like how to sell your existing customers on one of these subscription methods. So so really small, really good book. And then the other resource is Skype. Thanks to you guys, get me on here kicking and screaming. Now I'm actually doing Skype tutorials. I'm tutoring people using Skype. I'm tutoring them on Excel and other software, using the screen share and stuff like that. And it's working out super, super, super well. So thank you. Those are my two resources.
So with Skype, is that one to one, or is it more? Are there more people involved, or what's the situation there?
Baby steps, we're doing one-to-one. Although one of the one-to-one people now wants some other people to join and like do more like a group training, but right now it's just one-to-one.
Okay, that's pretty cool. You mentioned feast or famine in terms of customers. Can you just give me a bit of a definition of that? Because that's a new phrase for me. I think I understand, but just to make it clear.
Okay. What that basically means is that if you don't have recurring customers, then every month you're starting over. And every month you're looking at, what am I going to close this month? So it could be a situation where you have more business than you can handle, or it could be a situation where there's no business at all and you're wondering, how am I going to keep the lights on this month? So that's basically the feast or famine deal.
Right, keeping the lights on. That's always good. Always good to have the lights on. There we go. Resources. What have I got here? I briefly mentioned last week Pinterest. I haven't heard anyone else talk about that, and I use that on a daily basis. What I find is that hands up, anyone who's used it? No hands. No. Sort of. Half and half. Okay. First of all, it's a great way to record anything you're browsing through on the internet. Just click a button at the top of your browser and that article automatically goes to a board that you can check later. So it saves a lot of time if you're browsing through a lot of information. Secondly, so many people have collected so much great information that I don't have to do it myself. I can just go onto Pinterest and type in a particular subject, and I can go and see someone else's resources on that subject and steal from them. So that's if we can stand on the shoulders of giants and benefit from the work of others who want to share their work, that's pretty cool. And also I've got my own boards of information related to teaching, education. I've even used it as a way to promote videos that I've made. I've got a special board on the site for my own videos, so people can go there and watch my videos. And what else? A lot of great business information distilled into things like infographics, which I like because they give you the basics, and if you want more, you can go and explore more. Good for little ideas. You might have noticed that I posted some stuff on Facebook forums this week, and that was basically picked up through Pinterest. And it's constantly changing every minute through the day. People are posting, and I can see what people are posting there. So it's just like a giant gold mine of information that's constantly producing gold, in my opinion. So I'd recommend exploring Pinterest a little bit more for collecting together your own resources and using stuff which already exists. You don't even need to create a lot of your own stuff. Other people have done it already, and are very happy to share their work through that online. So also anything that I post direct to Pinterest goes automatically to my Facebook page. And you can do that if you've got Twitter and other things. It can go automatically to your Twitter and automatically anywhere. So anything you do on Pinterest then goes to your other social media sites as well. So I think that's kind of useful, pretty useful too. So saves you having to worry about regular posting when you just post on one site and then it automatically goes out everywhere else. Done. There we go. Shall we move on?
Well, one question, because
okay.
I think we have time this episode.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm like.
Yeah. So just a question. As far as what we do, as far as the Trello board, which I don't use as much as I should, as far as posting information, I do have a Pinterest account. I don't use it that often. So is it similar to how Trello works as far as the boards? Because I know looking back, it seems like it's a similar process.
Um, I, I don't know how to answer that because I'm not sure if my idea of similar is the same as your idea of similar process. What's the can you be more specific in terms of the question? I'm
Well, I
sorry.
know there's, with Trello, there's boards, for each subject, you can make a different board.
Yep.
And I know with Pinterest, same thing.
Yep.
So is it similar that way, where
Yeah.
you can say this is the subject, these are my interests, this is what I'm going to post on this board, and if you want to look at it, take a look at this board. So as far as Trello and Pinterest, they kind of are similar. It sounds that way.
Yeah. First of all, I imagine Pinterest as a visual Facebook providing you with 100 times the amount of information. So instead of text, it puts up images. And it's not just a straight scrolling, you can set it up to post as many images as possible of as many sizes on your screen so that you can get, you can see 3 or 4 posts, or you can see 100 posts. You can set it to whatever is comfortable for you, and as someone posts up, it's constantly scrolling down, so you're just basically looking at your screen of what people are at this moment actually really looking at, and you get to select the type of topics that are interesting for you. So if you're only interested in business topics, you can specifically select those business topics. In fact, it's got a great search engine, so that if I want to search things, first of all, when I'm searching on Google, I never use the Google All Search. I basically use the Google Image Search, because I find that the image tells me more about what's there than the actual text. And you can use Pinterest as a visual search engine, where you can search any specific topic and any information in any specific topic, and then get visual resources for it, either other people's notice boards or other people's just single pins on their notice boards. So you basically have it like visual folders, like folder 1 is my business, folder 2 is my homeschool, folder 3 is I've got learning issues, I've got videos I've created, and then you can choose to follow other people's boards or other people's work entirely. You can be highly selective about all of the information that appears there, which means you don't get any SHIT that you don't want. Tra-la-la.
So, Rudy, as an idea, one of the 4 things you said you help people with is joint pain. And so you could have a board called, exercises for joint pain. And as you come across an article that's dealing with that, you could click the article. What will happen is in Pinterest, people will see the picture in the article, but when they click that picture, it'll take them to the article. And so I could be on your blog, and I could see an article you've written, and I could take that article and pin it to my Pinterest, and that gives you more exposure and more traffic to your website. Also, I love the idea about bookmarking articles, because I've been struggling with finding something, and I think Pinterest will be better than what I've been doing.
Yeah, and you get the little button at the top of your browser, and when you're on a page, all you have to do is click the little button at the top of the browser. A box pops up saying which board do you want to put this in. Click on the board, it's there, it's done, and it takes it takes half a second. It's a great time saver, and it's there. It's kind of basically a sort of cloud-based collection system. So it's been very useful. And if you're interested, this is what I would do, right? It's like if you're interested in joint pains, you go to Pinterest and you type in joint pain, and other people have already created notice boards and resources full for those topics and subjects. So you can basically go into somebody else's file that contains all the information, and you can pull out their resources and use their resources. And I guarantee you people have already done it, because I've used it for various different educational topics, and I type in something and I find somebody else has already collected all the data, so I don't even need to go and do it. And mind blowing.
Wow. Sounds like a very good resource. I think a separate episode, maybe Tuesday, maybe we can go over like a screen share. You can show us all the ways you use it. I think that would be a good resource for anybody, and then we can share it online with whoever might appreciate it.
Yeah, sure. I can do a little show and tell for you, and maybe a little bit of Pinterest, and maybe the Mailchimp as well. That might be sort of a good thing. Just throw them in together, and that's the kind of thing you can do. You can create the mail through Mailchimp, and Mail creates a copy and a link and puts it up on a page on the internet. You can take that. You can just Pinterest, click that link, and your newsletter will go automatically onto the Pinterest boards for other people to see. So feeding off the great work that other people have done. So yeah, I'm down with that.
Great.
Any other thoughts before we move on to progress? No. Right, moving on. Report on progress for this week, hopefully with a little bit of opportunity for feedback. So this is what we promised ourselves that we'd do between last week and this week, and it's how far down the road we have got. Who's first?
I'll go if you want.
No fight.
Don't.
Don't fight. Don't fight over it, guys. Okay. Yeah. Rudy.
Okay, yeah.
You're up.
Just like I was saying, I could reboot if you wanted, but it's all basically some graphs and things on how the advertising is going. I'm reaching on average about it looks like with it at Espresso they with the 3 ads I did, I got 36 versions that they put up, different ones for mobile and desktop, and like I said, some of them were flagged that I had to change them, and I still have to go in and change some of them, but they give me the stats for all of them, and I can pick the ones that people are actually, I guess, maybe looking at more. I don't know, because I'm not getting a lot of click-throughs. Like I said, I'm not getting anybody that's really registering yet. But again, like Facebook is saying, they're obviously encouraging. They're like, continue. The impressions, the actual posts that they're putting up to people are high. Like I'm averaging 21 impressions per hour per day, meaning that's the average. So at peak hours that people are on Facebook, I may get anywhere from I think it was 48 to 170 impressions. People are looking, they're seeing they're just seeing the advertisement. They're not clicking on it, but I'm getting that type of exposure, peak hours of Facebook time per day. So I'm getting that. The analytics they're providing me, like I said, obviously they want me to keep coming as a customer, but the analytics they're providing seem very significant. So I don't have a lot of people telling me they've seen the advertising locally, but they're my existing clients. I don't know how that works. So basically, it's kind of like we were talking about with Johnny's door hanger. It's like it's the initial. How do you do? This is my name, and people may look right through you, and not really see you until, I'm told that 7th to 11th time that they actually see you. So I'm taking this for what it is. It's the first time they're seeing me. In 3 months, if I'm consistent, which I have been in the past, and that's what I'm doing now, if I'm consistent and tweaking the ads and doing certain things to promote engagement, I should expect something like if I'm doing everything I should do in 3 months is when I should be really expecting some response. If I don't start getting some response in 3 months, then I'll be like, hey, this what was going on. So, but until then, all the analytics and the graphs and the numbers and all that stuff seem to be making sense to me. They're giving me some information on which ads may get more impressions than others and what may work more than others. And I will hopefully be able to promote the ads through my clients, the ones that are actually what Facebook would recommend because they have recommended ads versus the ones that they flag. So I can pick those and I can put links that I can give to my clients and have them promote those particular ads. And it's all the same message: 1 week free membership to the gym, workout. The whole USP as far as lose weight, get stronger, and my main USP was to eliminate pain and manage health issues. So it all seems to be moving forward. Like this is a place I've never been where like I'm very comfortable with it, and I have to actually give credit to my Breathe University professional fitness accountability group because some of them actually have done Facebook ads, Delroy Thomas and a few others. So I've been able to talk to them about their process, and he's given me some examples of what he's done on Facebook. And he thinks I'm narrowing my demographic a little too small. He's like, you have to kind of broaden it, just to capture those leads and then kind of narrow them down, which you can do with Facebook pixeling, which I still have to learn about. I guess maybe I'll report on that this week. I have to research that. So I feel comfortable now, like being in that arena where I haven't been before. So I'll continue to learn more, and I will update as I go, and hopefully it'll become a resource for other people as they progress if they need to delve into Facebook advertising.
Super. Jackie, do you got any questions that you want to ask about Rudy's experience?
hmm So the things that you were going to work on for this week, it was all going to be the Facebook advertisement then.
Yeah, it was just kind of
Okay.
monitoring and making sure that I move ahead with that. And like I said, I did a campaign over the weekend,
I saw.
and it yielded not a lot, but like I said, they're telling me like they're providing the impressions on the page, and then I think Monday they reviewed the ads that I created, and they said, well, these three are not up to Facebook standards because there was too much text on them.
Okay.
So I actually didn't get that notice, I think, until maybe Wednesday. But they said as of Monday we're not posting these, so I have to go back in and take a look at them. And I'm as far as business, which is why I'm here. Uh, this would have been my disconnect because if I hadn't gotten any notices from Facebook and nothing was really happening, well, over the course of the last week, I've gotten 3 new clients, 2 renewals from a while back, and then I got 1 new referral signed up. So my default would be like, well, I'm just wasting time trying to do this. My organic referral is still working. I'd rather just concentrate on that. I don't want to waste money or time doing Facebook ads. So the business itself is still progressing because I've got these new people, and they're going to be good referral sources. But it was like, okay, well, that's one referral source. The Facebook ads is something I need to learn. I've been needing to learn it. Let me continue doing that, and then with this chat, and then the chat I'm having with the fitness professionals on my other group is, encouraging me to continue to learn, because they said, well, yeah, this is all just part of the process. Like, you're not going to get a lot, right away. Like I said, after 3 months, expect to start getting some leads and people starting to see, oh yes, you're an established business on Facebook. I've seen you there for months now. Let me give you a try. Let me at least contact you. So for me, it's a big step to just continue to to work on the campaigns because I did the weekend one. I'm doing one during the week, and the next step would be to do more of a promotional thing, whether it would be um, giving a prize to a client. Like if whoever gives me the most Facebook referrals wins a free T-shirt or something like that. To do something more active, or or enter to win. A cold lead as far as that is like I could post or do an advertisement, win 1 month free, at Rudy's Health and Fitness, enter to win. So it would be more of a sweepstakes type of promotion. So I'm going to continue to work on the ads, but then go ahead and start doing some promotions as I become more familiar with things. So that would probably be my next thing. Next week, I'll probably say, okay, I'm going to do a sweepstakes or a promotion, and this is what I'm going to do. Now that I know kind of the process.
Does that answer the question? Yep. Okay. Yeah, I think we need to give it time. As Jackie has mentioned before, it takes around 3 months to objectively get some feedback on advertisement. I think that's the period that she mentioned before. Is that about right? And so you're just at the end of, you're not even at the end of the first week. So of course you're excited to monitor what's happening and to try to get as much feedback as possible. But I think, as you stated, it's refining the process. This works, this doesn't work. I can use this, I can't use this. People like this, they don't like this. So it's just going to be refining it hopefully every week, and maybe changing the different rewards that you offer as incentives for people doing things as well. Super. Anything else that you'd like to add?
Not really. I think as I continue, there'll be a lot. In regards to, I think anybody's business. It's not just the Facebook ads. I think it's more a lesson on, just like what ET says, it's like digging for diamonds. It's like sometimes you're just gonna come up with dust, and sometimes you're gonna come up with diamond dust. You just gotta keep going. So I'll relay that as it develops.
Yeah, you will be our model for this experiment, and if it works, we'll be following you. and if it doesn't, we'll be going in the other direction very quickly.
Yes. Run.
Right. Jackie, where are we? Reports on progress. So could you give us a little update on your experiences over the last week?
Okay. So bad news first. I had 3 main things I was working on. No Facebook until noon. Doing a price list, especially focused on long-term and recurring contracts, and then doing a PowerPoint for my referral program. No Facebook till noon. I'm up to like 4 days a week. The other 3 days I forget, and then I have to pull myself back. So price list for long-term contracts, I did not touch that at all. And then PowerPoint for referral program, I don't think I'm going to do that. What I've been doing is I've been actually like meeting face to face with people and telling them about the referral program, showing them my company fact sheet, and then showing them the fees that they'll get for referrals, and that has been working fine. So I think the PowerPoint thing, I think I may push it until after this current 90-day cycle is done, which this 90-day cycle will be done in July 4th. So and as far as why I didn't do the price list, I've been working on getting recertified in some subjects. So I have certification exams coming up. And so that's what I've been doing. I've been studying for that instead of working on my price list. I will say as a success, the instructor that I hired to do soft skills training had her first engagement last week Friday, and the client loved her and they want her to come back and do some more training. So that is a huge step towards kind of building my team. And then that was pretty much when we get to what we're doing next, I want to ask you guys for help in a particular area. But as far as my status, that's pretty much it for my status.
Super, thank you. Rudy, any questions that you'd like to highlight?
Yeah, the Facebook thing, like you committed to not getting on Facebook. I mean, do you feel like, for me, like I only use it for business. It's like I'm talking to clients. I'm and it's like, yeah, well, like I have the Pride Leader accountability.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, People are saying, their workouts and things, and I kind of have to check in sometimes on that and give people encouragement. What are you? I mean, how do you feel like? Are you feel like you're wasting time on Facebook? Are you using it just for personal use, or do you feel like uh, it's something that you may be using for business to interact, or like what's the factor as far as trying to eliminate it completely from your morning schedule?
I just need time to focus. I use Facebook mostly for business networking. So most of the people I'm in groups with and talking to are other business owners, but it takes away my ability to kind of focus. And so I figure I'm brightest in the morning. Let me spend the morning like studying and planning classes and stuff. And then at 12 o'clock, I can hop on and get caught up with people. Because as far as the personal, I use this thing called the Facebook Eradicator. So I don't see any news feed in my Facebook when I'm on Facebook on my computer. So yeah, so it's mostly, even though I'm doing a lot of networking, it's mostly so that I can focus and think in the morning. That's why I don't get on until noon.
Okay, because I tend to do the opposite, which it's a process. Like I'm on the, I think compared to all of you, I'm on the west coast of the world as far as time. You're in Atlanta, I think you said, and Slovakia is on the moon, right?
It's the dark side, right?
Yeah.
Okay, the dark side of the moon.
So I'm seeing everybody's accomplishment throughout the day when I'm just waking up.
Mm,
So like Rochelle T. Parks posts her workouts and different things, or just some of the other people that I know, and it's like it's inspirational. So I want to kind of keep that juice going, because that's what I do. I'm training people, and I see all that, and I'm like, okay,
mm,
people, this is what these people did. Let's use it. So I feel like I'm utilizing it as a resource. I'm
mm-hmm.
not just having a conversation, but I think it just depends. Yeah, I mean, if you're sitting down and like on Tuesdays and Thursdays, yeah, I think I'm where you're at. It's the opposite, where like, okay, I have to figure out these ads and I have to rework them, and I'm not going to get on Facebook for the next hour because I have to watch this tutorial. So
Yes.
I can see it working both ways, where it's like sometimes I think it's a good resource to push you forward, and
Mm-hmm.
then sometimes it's like, okay, well, I can have this conversation about ET's sermon from Sunday, but it I got to get this done. So let me wait to do that. So okay, well, you answered that clearly, but yeah, and then what was it that you wanted to push till later, and you wanted to dismiss completely the other project?
I want to push till later doing up a price list. I want to do a price list that offers an incentive for my clients to do some recurring business, and kind of plan their recurring business rather than just calling me when they think of it. So it's all, this whole building a subscription business type deal. So I want to give them more attractive prices. Let's say if they book, 3 training sessions within a 6-month period, I want to come up with a more attractive pricing structure for them. So that's what I've pushed off till later. The PowerPoint for a referral program, I don't think I need that after all. So
Okay. Well, the thing I've learned, especially this year, is that whole thing, like don't leave any money on the table. It would be good to always have a plan as far as pricing tables and stuff, but if somebody wants to buy like a gift certificate or something, it's like, if it means coming up with something on the spot, I'll do it. And then for me lately, it's like, okay, that's my plan for that. Like, my daughter's coming in from college for the next 2 weeks. Can I buy? And I'm like, well, I don't do that, you know. It's like I only do 3 months of projects. It's like, no, it's 2 weeks. They want to come in, you know, I'll offer something, you know, okay, and then I write that down, or I usually use a lot of texting, you know. When I said, I usually, if I can't come up with something on the spur of the moment, I'll be like, well, let me text you, I'll figure that out. So then I'll send them a text. I'm like, okay, well, for 2 weeks it will be student, you know, $75 or whatever if they're coming in, and that's my now certificate, gift certificate, or whatever they want to do. So, you know, I don't think there's anything wrong with kind of figuring things out on the spot and just saying that's my policy for right now, and then you can always modify that as you go. So,
Why?
yeah,
I know. I know this is kind of Jackie's section, but you mentioned the gift certificate or something idea. Just as an add-on, why don't you have why don't you have something ready in your computer that you can just type in someone's name and a price and print it out like that and give it to them?
exactly. You're right.
Because that's what I've got. Right, all I have to do is
Yeah.
change a name and add a price. I print it out in my computer, and it's like, here's your birthday present for whoever, and and I'll give me their email, and I'll email them with all the details they need to know to come along. And people sometimes buy a course as a present, especially around Christmas, for a member of family.
Yeah, it's again, like I don't think I overanalyze. It's like I try and customize too much because I'll get, well, they're coming for 2 weeks. I'm not sure how much they're going to come in. Can they come in and try it out? Well, okay. All I should care about is they're coming in for 2 weeks. They want to join. Okay, well, if it's $75, you know, buy the certificate. If they spend all that time with their friends and they never come in, then I'll, you know, give you a credit of $75 for your next month or whatever. Like I can think about that stuff later, you know, because say, well, I'm not sure how much they're going to come in. And I could just say, okay, well, this is what you're asking. This is what I have. Do you want it or not? You know, and I don't do that, and that's what I think. That's what you're saying. It's like, this is what you're wanting. This is what I have. Go ahead and buy it, and if for some reason they don't use it, I can give you a credit later because I get stuck in that minutia of, well, how flexible can you be about that package? You know, it's like, well, you know, I'll give you credit if they don't use it, but right now, drop the money, and that's what you're getting. So,
Over analysis.
yeah,
Of the situation. My question is one question. It's of course I want to know who the person is and have some data and analyze that. But once I've got that out of the way, it's okay. How much you want to spend? Okay, you want to spend that much? Okay, for that much, I will give you, I don't know, 10 sessions of 1 hour, or 20 sessions of 90 minutes, or something like that, or whatever. You tell me how much you want to spend. I'll fit a course into that amount of money, and that's it, dude. It's done. It's printed out and got their name on it, and how many sessions, and what they expect to get from it, and 5 minutes,
yeah.
less than 5 minutes, it's done.
I mean, Jackie, back to your, what you were saying. I mean, do you feel like sometimes you leave money on the table that way, or do you have like a process, like when people say, well, this was great, and I want to do something in the future, how much would it be? I mean, do you have like something you can say, well, if you want to, you know, another month, or you want another consultation, this is how much it'll be right now, early bird registration, or do you have a process for that?
Yes and no. So if they say there's something that they want, I usually will send them a proposal. I'll say, okay, I'll get your proposal by Tuesday of next week. But I really like the idea, so if they express a need and is active, I have something. But I really like the idea that you guys were proposing about maybe giving a gift certificate after we do a training. Say, you know what, we really enjoyed the training. If you book another one within the next 6 weeks, this is going to be your special pricing, like you said, for quick action. And then
Yeah.
that way it's repeat business, and it's more predictable, and I'm kind of leading the process rather than waiting for them to call me. Does that make sense?
No, I get that because one of the biggest hurdles I've had, and I don't have this anymore because this is what I do now. Like I can have clients that I've had for years, you know, and either they're renewing every 3 months, or I have people that are used to the old once, every month, and they're just used to that, and that's what they do. Uh, and I've known them long enough where it's like the policy of a 30-day notice has kind of gone to the wind, like because I've known them for so long. Uh, or, in the end, as far as training, in the end, ultimately, and I've told this to other trainers, what we do is a luxury item. Like they don't like it's not a toothache. They don't have to go to the dentist, and the dentist gives them a price, and they're like, oh, I don't want to do that. If they have a toothache, they're gonna pay whatever it takes to get that tooth taken care of. As far as exercise, it's a luxury item. They can at any time say, I'm not gonna come anymore. And it's like, well, I can't afford it, whatever. They don't. It's not a pressing need. Immediate need. It's like obviously long term, yeah, you want to stay in shape, but that's another aspect. Uh, I have people that I've had that oh, my son got into college and it's going to be and his tuition's due and I can't come anymore. Like no notice. Like what am I supposed to say? Well, you still have to pay for the next month, even though you have to pay for your son, who I saw grow up the last 5 years. You still have to pay me that 30 days. It's like it's hard to say that, and I don't get in that situation that often. But the easier way for me to do it is that early bird thing. It's like, okay, say, I charge, $275 for, 2 months or whatever. I when it's like maybe 14 days before their renewal, like 2 weeks before they actually have to renew, I usually say, I'll give you $25 off if you renew early bird registration. So I know that either they're going to or they're not. So at least they can say in their head, I'm going to go ahead and do this, and not at the end when they're due say, oh well, I'm not renewing. So that early bird registration, that early bird payment, like it may be $25 off or whatever, but it's peace of mind for me knowing, okay, well they're already registered for another 3 months, which is what I'm trying to get everybody to do right now. They get a little discount, but I know for sure that they're going to be renewed before their new sessions even start. So I'm actually almost have everybody on that now, or or if for some reason I'm like, my kids, their dental bills due and something happened and it's twice as much as I thought, I can go ahead and push. It's like, okay, well, I just want to remind everybody, if they pay, 3 weeks in advance, it's going to be an extra $20 off. So some people are like, oh, okay, I'll do that. So that way I can just pay and I don't have to worry about it. So I have the option. I can kind of push that early bird registration around if I happen to need some quick cash. Usually it's 2 weeks, but if somebody, I can offer like, well, if it's a week extra week in advance, I can give you another 25 off or something. And usually it works that way because everybody knows, everybody's just trying to make their money. And sometimes people will come to me, which I appreciate. Like, I'm not going to be able to pay you the whole thing. Can I do it in 2 installments? I'm like, okay, And then sometimes I'm like, I'm having an early bird registration. Can anybody pay in advance? And they kind of get it too. So it's that whole early bird term, I think, works really well as far as flexibility and a notice of guarantee of payment.
Is there when there's just as a final quick question, when there are special offers, is there a limit or a deadline on the offer? It's a question for Jackie if she offers something to customers. Is there some deadline on you have to book if you want a cheaper price within 2 weeks or something like that? Or
Yeah, so far I haven't been doing it, but just based on the tips you offered, yeah, it's easy to put together a certificate and say, Excel class is usually, $50,000. Of course, I'm kidding, but if you book one within the next 2 weeks, it's $40,000. So yeah,
yeah.
definitely that can be done.
Yeah, just as a just as a little extra, I don't know if this is practical or useful. I was in a clothes shop the other day and I bought some, I don't know, it's trousers and t-shirt, and they popped into the bag this little card, and when I took out the card, it said, you know, you will have 10 euros off if you come back to the shop within 2 weeks and buy something else. And I was thinking, that's pretty powerful motivation to go back to that shop, which I wouldn't do normally, but I could even take the card and give it to my partner or a friend, and they could take it back to the shop and spend it there. And I was just thinking, wow, what a hook to drag people back in. Nice little touch that they used there. Nothing new, but I just thought I'd show.
Oh yeah, I mean, I think as far as I don't want to speak for everybody, but as far as mindset, and the reason we have this whole group is, I think we're really wanting to offer people a service. I mean, genuinely want to offer it, regardless of if that's how we make money and pursue our careers in business. I think we might have a little mental block as far as what we charge and how we charge. And like I said, if we were a CEO that wasn't really looking at the product, they were looking at the bottom line, they would have no problem with some of the ways that we tend to look at how we price things. So I think the early bird registration or offering a little incentive gives us peace of mind. It's like, okay, well, we want to make sure that they come back. We love what we do. We want to continue to do what we do because we love what we do. But we want some guarantee they're going to come back. So it's okay to go ahead and give them a discount of 2 weeks in advance or whatever, just so that we know it's going to perpetuate the things that we love to do. So
yeah, it's a balance of service first versus money first versus you owe you, and how do I value myself in the bigger picture, I think. Okay, thank you for that information. Moving on quickly, as from being under time, we're now over time, if there are such phrases as that. I'm not even sure, right?
Yes, there is.
Okay, good. I'm just been out here for so long, I'm not even sure there's a language anymore, right? Where am I? I'm on my report for progress for the week. Is that right?
Mm-hmm. It's your turn. Yes.
Nod of heads. Thank you. Where am I? Plan was to work on publishing information for getting a book e-published. I have to re-edit the book, so I've got it into the right format, and I need to go through the book and cut out various parts. My assistant has done research on various people who can format the book and do covers for the book, so I've got that information already prepared. So it's just the grind of editing out and editing down the book a little bit, making it simpler, preparing contents, and maybe changing a little bit of the blurb for promotion of it. I've done that. The logos that I wanted to work on were finished at the end of last week. I wanted to work on doing some podcast notes for the BU group. I did that and posted them up. I made a short little edit from video of one of our previous meetings and posted that. I got a new version of the newsletter out, which I'm still not 100% happy with, but it's definitely going in the right direction. I think within the next week or two it'll be refined to the point that I'm happy with, and I need to be totally focused on getting it out regularly at the same time each week. Made a little preparation sheet for these meetings, which helped me because I felt like I wasn't fully prepared for the last meetings, and I needed to think about what I was going to say a little bit, which is what I'm using right now. I'm trying to use my little piece of paper. There we go. Back. And here's another little thing that happened. I challenged Johnny last week to to do an hourly schedule for his day, which he then did you see that nod of heads? You saw that he posted his hourly schedule for his next day, and I was like, you have to do that every day, so that I can see you're doing that every day. He kind of posted it for one day, and then kind of like a little fish swam through the net out into the open sea somewhere. And when I catch up with him, right, and I looked at his plan, and I thought he's got this 4 to 5 and 5 to 6 in the plan. And I was looking at my diary, and I was thinking, I got lots of space at the end of the day that I should have at the beginning of the day. And my diary plan started at 8 in the morning, and then I had like extra time in the evening for a few things. And I was thinking about this, and I was thinking there's a 4 to 8 missing in my plan if I want to plan something into that time that I haven't planned in before. So I didn't completely change my time, but I moved my days so that there's now a whole space at the beginning rather than a whole space at the end. You follow? You follow me? You follow me? No?
Yeah, it's again what I think I was telling Johnny at the time, Darren Hardy. That whole thing is, tracking. Make sure you're tracking everything you're doing during the day. The more you track, like diet, work hours, everything, finances, what you're spending, like the more you track things, the more successful you will be. He's like, the more you, like, I was just saying, the more you track of everything, the more successful you will be. It is automatic because you get to really see where everything is going, your time, your money, your energy, your calories, like everything. And I agree with that. It's just, yeah, it's like it's I think difficult to maintain that because I had that time logger that I was posting on the BU site for a while, and I've kind of gone away from that. But it really helped me to not, like, okay, let me just watch one episode of Mad Men while I'm chilling out. Well, then I have to register that on my time logger, and let me get back to work. It helped me to do that. So definitely, and then you see those trends. It's like, okay, well, yeah, those spaces could become earlier in your day versus later, but you see that block of time. So tracking all that stuff, I think, very valuable and something we should all push ourselves to do.
And Jackie mentioned that she was sharper on some ideas in the morning and more focused, and I am as well. And so I had left my focus time in the morning to start at my first meeting. And now I'm moving my focus time from the moment I get up. So I'm now adding an extra 3 to 4 hours of focus time in the beginning of my day rather than at the end of my day. And my hope is that with this plan I will be more productive and constructive with my time. So that's a little bit of rescheduling that I did. Any questions?
Well, what I shared with a few other people on the BU site was one thing I did get from ET early on, as far as, he likes to get up really early to do things, but he learned that from Warren Buffett and some other people that are very successful. And it's basically, yeah, it's like get up early, do all the most important things, the things that are very, like, on point, get to the spot where you want to say it. Only talk to the people that are doing 120%. Like, don't talk to anybody, like he said in the past, like, I don't talk to anybody before 12 o'clock that isn't on point. Like, I get up at 3, I'm done at 12, and then I deal with the rest of the world after that. And that's gold for me, because that's how I feel when I'm being most successful. I get up early, I take care of stuff. My first group of clients is my 5 a.m. clients, and they're there to just bring it. They're working really hard, and then I get the clients that are coming in to work out, a little socializing, It's part of their lifestyle. They've committed to that. I give them respect for that. But my 5 o'clock crew is like the Rangers. They're the ones that are on point. So I think, yeah, those early hours are crucial. I think you're the most productive early on versus later on in the day.
Yeah, and in addition to talking to the right people, I also made a note this week that I need to look to try to have a specific takeaway from every conversation that I'm having, a specific point that's important for that conversation and my communication with other people. Because I think there's a few elements of communication and conversation where I'm talking with people, but there's nothing productively active that's being taken away from the conversation as a next step. And I need to be more focused, not just with who I communicate with, but I need to be taking something away specifically from each conversation and communication in the business sense.
I think that's a good. I don't think it's an over. Like, I don't think it's 100% somebody's test of character, but it's a good test of character when I tell somebody, okay, I know you usually want to come in at 10 o'clock. Can you come in at 7? If you really want to lose weight, need you to come in at 7 so you have time to do an hour of cardio and then work out, and then you have your whole day. And it's like, oh, that's so early. Well, do you really want to do it then? It's like you're showing me that coming in earlier is a burden versus what you're saying you really want. And like, I'm just asking you, I wanting you to start your day earlier so that you get what you want. And I'm here. I'm here. I start at 5, so it shows me like how committed certain people are to doing certain tasks, and just the fact that anybody that's willing to come in earlier to do anything shows me that there's a real commitment there. And somebody who won't get up earlier to do something, there's definitely, they need some reflection on, you know, priorities in their life, I think. I like to sleep in as much as the next person, but with kids, it's like you get up as early as they get up. So,
Talking
everything changes.
talking about priorities, my timekeeping has disappeared. So let's refocus because I'm sure that we're going to be here forever if I don't try and do this. Do we all have 5 to 10 more minutes we can give on the main agenda? Do we all have that? Yeah.
Yes.
Well, okay. So let's try to do that and keep going. So we've run through our reports on progress for the week. What's more important? Next plans or hot seating? Next plans. Next plans is obviously more important. We got to get through what we plan to do between now and this time next week. So, Rudy, give us a quick blast. 30 seconds to 1 minute on how you're going to change the world over the next 7 days.
Well, aside from tweaking the ad so I'm getting more response, at least setting up one promotion where there's some type of giveaway if people opt in. So that's my next one is to, now that I know the platform, is tweaking it, refining it, and then doing something that's more laser focused to as far as call to action. It's like, submit now and earn a free month or something else. So promotion is the main thing for me.
Okay, so just promo, straight down the line. Okay, excellent. Jackie, your focus for the next 7 days.
Okay, so I'm to pass at least one of the certification exams I have to take, and that one I can do on my own. But what I need help from you all on a week-by-week basis. Don't let me get away. Please ask me about recording my online course, because that's something, if given the opportunity, I will try to find a way out of it. So just stay on me every week about, until the course is published, about, and don't let me make any excuses. But yeah, so the second thing is to do some recording of my online course. And those are the top two things.
Okay, your online course, how many parts is it going to have? Do you got to...
Yes, it is going to have, there's an intro, and then there are 6 steps to the involved. So it's going to have about seven main modules.
Okay, and how long has each part got to be?
It's just as long as it is. Probably each part may end up being 30 minutes at the very most.
Okay, and is that what you were talking about last week when you said that you had to record at 4 o'clock in the morning or something because it was a busy office?
Yes. That is what I was talking about.
Yeah, so it's
Of course.
so you have to get up at that time in the morning and do the presentation and record it. Yeah.
Yes, either I have to do that or I have to switch a couple of rooms out and switch my office to a quieter room.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So are you looking for something from us daily or every couple of days?
Every couple of days or every week would be more than enough. But every couple of days, yeah, because I guess every couple of days I can report in the chat what I've done. And
Okay.
if you don't hear from me, then bug me.
Okay. Bugging will be on the agenda. Yes.
Thank you.
Yes. Super cool. My plans for the next few days. What am I going to be doing? I need to finish my editing of the book. I want to work on some more self-positive motivational psychology through mantra notes that I was doing before. And what's happened, I don't know if you saw the previous mantra notes that I did, is that I've been taking them and using them as the basis for discussions with students about what they mean and how to apply them in their lives. So it's become quite fascinating as students have different approaches on them, different perspectives, and try to apply them in their own lives to improve the quality of their life. So that's something else I want to work on. And online structure for my business, there is a possibility at the moment, long-term plan, there is a possibility that in the second half of this year I'm going to work on migrating as much of my business as possible online to eventually do all my work from home, wherever home may be. So that's slowly grinding to a start at the moment. So I'm going to be looking at sketching out a plan for that as well. A little reminder that one of my students who works in marketing is interested in maybe fielding questions from us about different ways of marketing and how we can improve our businesses. So that's something to think about, which could appear at the end of this month. That's it. These are my plans. And do I need accountability for things? As always, just stick a little message on the Facebook page. What you up to, and I'll give you a little bit of feedback on that. Moving on. Any other business that anyone has on their mind before we conclude the formalities?
I think this was very productive. I think you were a fantastic moderator.
Oh, a compliment. Thank you. I must learn
Kudos.
to.
That was on the agenda. Kudos to Graham.
I'm just trying to follow your lead, right? I'm just all my ideas are stolen from you, mate. So thank you.
And get better, Rudy.
Thank you. Yeah. I just need sleep. I think it's that time where it's like, yeah, you pushed. I had the field trip with my daughter over the weekend, so it's like I still feel like I'm catching up on sleep. But that's after party talk, I guess.
That's just trying to keep up with the young ones. It's knocked you out, mate. Yeah. So this concludes almost 75 minutes of all action, all results from our group for this week. If you're watching, you can find more information about our businesses from us or through the BU community. And there'll be Maybe a short after discussion we will see, and another posting of all of our successes next week. Thanks for listening, and that's it for today. Done. Thank you guys.